It's looking to be another optimistic start for New Mexico coach coming in. Jason Eck takes over the reins after coming over from Idaho. He'll hope to bring some FCS talent with him, including his quarterback Jack Lane, running back from Montana State Scott Trey Humphrey. Coming off last season for the Lobos, they were optimistic that Bronco Mendenhall was going to return along with their all-conference quarterback and Devin Dampier. They had Eli Sanders at running back and Luke Weissong. Bronco Mendenhall leaves, and so do all of them. They leave to Dampier leaves to Utah. You got Weissong leaving to Arizona, and Eli Sanders at USC. All their offensive production that they relied on for some big games last year gone, and a defense that was already in disarray. For a team to find some offensive production running the ball, he's going to look to come in and replicate what Bronco Mendenhall was able to do in his first season. The program's undergoing massive overhaul, over 70 new players coming in this fall. Expectations are uncertain. Last year the Lobos had explosive offense but a very poor defense. This season, can they focus the shift to a more defensive-minded approach? Looking at their schedule, they start off the season at Michigan. They have Idaho State at home. They go on the road to UCLA. They come back home for their rivalry game against New Mexico State. But then they got to go on the road and take on San Jose State and Boise State in back-to-back weeks. They come back home against Nevada and Utah State, possibly winnable games there. But then you go on the road again, you take on UNLV. You come back home to finish the season, you got Colorado State at home. You go on the road one more time for Air Force, and you come back home to finish your season with San Diego State. That's such a tough schedule for a team that's trying to find an identity and build themselves. They could lose all their away games. I don't know. That's two tough non-conference opponents, the three best teams in the conference, and then Air Force will always give them fits. So many unknowns with significant roster turnover. Looking at the floor for New Mexico, this is a team that could probably win as little as 2 games, or ceiling, I think they could win as many as 5. I don't know if they're a bowl eligible team at this moment. So many guys flying under the radar coming in for this program. Could they find success and exceed expectations? Sure, but look for X first year just to rebuild and find a sort of identity that the Lobos can continue going forward.